Well, I can't quit you, baby.
And by the way, naturally, once he was ensconced there, Bolton promoted Obama loyalists within the National Security Council. That shouldn't surprise you either. From the very first day, John Bolton operated as, in effect, a fifth column within the Trump White House. We warned about him frequently on this show. When the president calls for peace with a heavily armed nuclear power, that is considered treason. But when the National Security Advisor calls for yet another pointless war, that's just elite consensus, and it's fine. A lifelong neocon, Bolton repeatedly has called for toppling the Iranian government again and again, though tellingly he's never suggested what might replace the Iranian government once it's toppled. To this day, Max Boot takes a paycheck from the Washington Post. Bill Kristol appears on MSNBC. John Bolton is this country's national security advisor. There were no consequences to their foolishness and their dishonesty. None. Yes, Mr. President, John Bolton does want to get you into a war. It's all he wants. It's what he dreams about. Many wars, if possible. And if you're not careful, he'll do it. In between administration jobs are always cushy think tank posts, paid speaking gigs, cable news contracts. War may be a disaster for America, but for John Bolton and his fellow neocons, it is always good business. We invited John Bolton on the show tonight. He did not respond to the invitation, which is a shame, but he's always welcome here. That's a sincere invitation. But in some ways, the story isn't simply about John Bolton. It's about the countless John Boltons who currently staff the federal bureaucracy. Deeply mediocre lifers, drunk on hubris, protected by bulletproof job security. They're more likely to die on the job than be fired, and they know it. As a group, these people have done an awful lot to make this country poorer and sadder and more divided. The actual John Bolton is gone, likely forever. The question tonight is, will he be replaced by another John Bolton just like him? And unfortunately, there are signs that that's possible. And in fact, in Washington, it's always possible. Change is not always for the better. Don't lie to yourself. Apparently on the short list tonight to replace Bolton is the president's special representative for Iran, Brian Hook. Hook may be a good person. He's also an unapologetic neocon. Sources say he has undisguised contempt for Donald Trump, as John Bolton did. And he particularly dislikes the president's nationalist foreign policy, which is one of the reasons people voted for Donald Trump in 2016. One administration official recalls Hook announcing that, quote, "I think the president is reckless and doesn't understand policy." Another source heard him directly say something very similar to foreign officials at a conference abroad. A choice like that, and Hook, by the way, is not the only one, not even close. A choice like that is really no choice at all. It's more John Bolton with the same predictable, disastrous results. At least Mitt Romney and the energy speculators will be happy, but the country won't be served.